it's Tracy from Entrepreneur Girl, and today is Tracy's Tuesday Tips, and we are going to be talking about must-have tools for your eBay and Amazon e-commerce business. Okay, the very first thing we're going to talk about here in my garage are the absolute basics that you need for your eBay and Amazon business, because I know that there's so many options out there and there's just so many things to choose from, and it gets overwhelming because you don't know the difference between what you really need, what you should get, and what is just complete junk. And so I want to try to help you with this as much as I can in a short video on YouTube, but we're going to talk about absolute must-haves right now, and then we'll get into some nice to haves. The great thing about an e-commerce business is most of the stuff you probably already have in your home. And if you've watched my beginner playlist series, you'll see me walk through, setting up my office to start, and how I talk about how great e-commerce is because it's such a low risk, because you have such a low startup cost. So I want you to keep that in mind when we're talking about basics that you must have, because truly you don't need a lot to get started. So here we go. The first thing that you need is a smartphone. You have to have a smartphone. People message me and ask me if they can do it without. I don't know how you will scan for successful products that will sell really well, that have a profit margin, if you don't have a smartphone. And the second thing that you have to have is a scanning app. So here on my iPad, I have the eBay app. They also have an Amazon app, and you find those in the App Store if you click on them and then do a search for Amazon Seller Central, which is different than the regular Amazon app. So make sure that you're doing the Amazon Seller Central free scanning app. So we will talk about other app options later, but those are the free ones. The third thing that you're going to need is a computer, which you probably already own. And the fourth thing you need is a dependable internet service, which you probably already have. Now, the fifth thing, the reason we're in the garage, is so that I can show you where I store all my boxes and my bubble wrap. Anytime I come across boxes, I put them here in the garage, and anytime I come across bubble wrap, I do the same. And so I have these racks designated just for packing materials for my e-commerce business. I never, ever, ever pay for these items. Boxes you can find anywhere. You've seen my dumpster diving videos. Literally you can stack up for a year worth of boxes by just going by the dumpsters, especially in like craft stores. They're my favorite. But even on recycle day in your neighborhood, people set out boxes, and they typically look just like this. They kind of stack them nicely beside the recycling bins. Any kind of store, your grocery stores, your department stores, they all get their goods in boxes. And if you talk to the management, most often they will let you take their boxes that they have then, or they'll tell you a day to come so that you get the boxes before they break them down. And the same goes for the bubble wrap up there. I have an arrangement with a CVS manager that saves all of their packaging from all of their boxes, and she keeps it for me, and I pick it up a certain day of the week, and I have free bubble wrap. So network to get these items, don't pay for them. As you can see behind me, this is my inventory, also in my garage, that I have not yet listed. So a lot of this is from the 127 yard sale, or auctions, or book sales that I've attended. I've bought a lot of merchandise at one time and haven't listed it yet. In the back rows, in boxes that are labeled, I have all of my eBay inventory. And so I keep those in boxes like these, banker boxes, and I label them with certain merchandise inside. So when I sell an item, I know right what box to go to find it. So this is the mess that I have here in my garage. I've taken it over with e-commerce, and yeah, embarrassing, but that's what it looks like. The next thing you need to have is a photo area. For eBay, you have to have pictures for each listing. If you're Amazon FBA, you don't have to take pictures, but if you get into private label or you're going to create your own listing, then you will. So this is a way, equipment that you will have to consider. Again, you could do it for free with a white sheet, hunt over, something that you have in your house. I have a video on that if you want to see how to do it just cheap and easy. But this is where you get into more elaborate equipment. You have your lights, you have your iPhone stand, you have your clamps. Underneath here I have my pop-up squares for my private label products in different sizes, so you can see where you need a space and you need certain products as you advance. But just to start, you could use a free white sheet. Next thing you need are measuring tapes. I prefer the soft measuring tapes because I can hang them around my neck while I'm working, but also they're easier, they don't hurt you, they're easier to take with you places, to shove in your backpack. You need to get packing tape, and don't waste your thought on getting cheap packing tape trying to save a dime. Go ahead and spend the money on like the Scotch tape, because the other packing tape won't work, it won't hold, and you're going to pay for it and either having to retape it with good tape anyway, or you're going to be in a position where your box breaks open en route, and you don't want that either. So I like the little red ones better than I like the big bulky box ones, but that's just a preference. So I make sure I have the tape holder, I make sure I have the good tape, and I have rolls everywhere, all out throughout my house. The other things that you're going to need that I'm going to show you pictures of what I have is you need a scale, and you want one that measures up to 100 pounds and one that has a button that you can push to hold the weight, so you can get the box off and actually have time to look at it. You also need a printer. It does not need to be an expensive printer, but it cannot be an ink printer. And for Amazon, Amazon requires that you do not use ink. I found the best, cheapest workhorse are the Brothers, and this is the one I have. And if you get the extended cartridge, I had the extended cartridge last year and it lasted me nearly the whole year on one toner cartridge. So it was much more cost effective. I spent less than $80 on the printer and it never gave me an issue. So I really, really like that. A higher end printer would be this one. And that is the Dymo, and it's not as user friendly. The real plus of having that is when you're doing your inventory and you want to sticker it while you're listing it, sticker it, put it in the box. You're not having to repeat or have a sheet of stickers and you're searching for the product. That's where the Dymos really come in handy. Or if a sticker rips, or you make a mistake and you need to print out one sticker or two stickers or three stickers and you don't want to do that whole sheet with the Brother printer. The Dymos work really nice for that. Also need to get printer labels, and these are the ones that I use. Our next item, printing paper, and also for our poly bags in different sizes with the choking hazard written on them. What I do is I go online when I'm getting low in supplies and I do a quick price check. Uline.com is also a pretty popular one. Amazon.com, surprisingly enough, is also the cheapest one, and Walmart. So those three I'm kind of price checking to see who's the cheapest right then on the products I need, but I get all of those items online. And the last essential are your scissors. So I also have multiple pairs of scissors laying around because you use them for everything. Now, if you want, when you're printing your box labels, you can just print them on regular paper and then cut them and then put them on the box with your packing tape. I also did a video where you can try to get free labels from UPS.com, or, which I have right here, or you can purchase these labels. And basically there's 4 labels on a page, or you can get it where the page is divided, so there's 2 labels on a page, And these are great, a great size for your boxes, for the outside of your boxes. And the only other thing that you will need is a permanent marker, and this is used if you have any barcodes on the outside of your box before you ship. You have to mark out those barcodes, but I use it for more than that. I can't even think of all the reasons I use it for right now, but I would have a bunch of permanent markers. I like the big fat ones, and I got these at the dollar store, but they work really well. So those are your must-haves. But let's say now that you are past the beginner stage, you already know what I've talked about today. You already have the supplies that we've talked about today. So now I want to go on my computer and show you some apps, some programs that have really helped me kick it up to the next level with my business. And maybe some of them you've heard of, maybe some of them you haven't, and it will be a benefit to you. As our business grows, so do the amount of things that we utilize. Like now I have a virtual assistant, and who knew that I would ever have a virtual assistant, but it's been great. And what happens is as you grow, you start to realize the need because you only have so much time in a day. And so you're kind of forced to give certain things away. You can't line item anymore your products by yourself because you just have too many products. You know, you can't handle everything yourself because now you just have too many things to handle. So you have to start offloading some of that either into a taxing program or a bookkeeping program or an inventory program or a virtual assistant in order to help you have enough time to maintain your business effectively and also to do it well. I think there's so many of us that we're really not where we need to be. So we've kind of maybe been putting off that tax thing a little bit, or we kind of sort of think, you know, our profit and loss is this amount, but we don't have a really good handle on our important business concepts, and we need to fix that. So we need to start biting the bullet, paying for some of the services after we've tried them, you know, with the free 30-day trials and made sure that they're a good fit. So here those are.